see, was yours on the?
Antoine Sutton, he's in the Department of Correction. He was sent off just March 30th.
Where is this one?
That's one of the ones you took off, you put out on bond.
Oh, yeah. Oh, because I said it.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's in there. So what is it you need to, yeah, because it looked like he was out.
He was transferred to Department of Correction on the 30th of March. I just wanted to let the court know there's no bond hearing. He's not in Fulton County Jail anymore.
Did they even give a bond on that? Because I didn't see one, but then I saw a note for like $1,000. I don't know what that was.
So I don't think he had a bond.
Well, if you talk to, do you know how long he's going to be at the Department of Corrections by any chance?
No, he was revoked on probation violation.
Oh, okay. Well, sometime between then and now, if you need to have a bond hearing, before he gets sent back or something, see, and you want to waive his presence, just let me know.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Have a good evening. All right,
Thank
so we could go ahead and handle the bond modifications if these folks are on there. Let's see, Brian. So one says Brian West, and then is Brian West on here yet?
And Your Honor, as far as Mr. West goes, I think that his phone is cut off or broken. I would ask if we could continue this because I have been in touch with him. It is unusual that I'm not able to reach him, but I was not able to reach him to send him the Zoom link. So,
Oh, okay. Is this, he's trying to get his ankle monitor removed?
yes, Your Honor.
All right, so how long has he had it on?
Oh gosh. He's been out for a minute, Your Honor.
Let's see. Well, this is a 21 case, so has he had it on for, let me look.
When he was in custody for quite some time before he was released, but he was released on
Oh, May of 2022.
Oh, so it's coming up on a year.
Yes, May 11th. His bond was signed May 11th, 2022.
Oh, okay. So Miss Turner, what do you think? Because I mean, I think I told you before that I talked with McBurney and he agreed that like 1 year on the ankle monitor is plenty if it hadn't been indicted.
No objection from the state, Your Honor.
Okay. I mean, we can wait on it, Miss Bassett. You go ahead and send me the order.
I will go ahead and send you the order, Your Honor. You want me to draft it?
Yeah, if you don't mind, that'd be cool.
I do not mind. Thank
All
you.
right,
Your Honor.
what about Lester White?
Mr. White should be here. I think I did see him on the Zoom. He's also would like to have his ankle monitor removed. He has been out since I want to say August of 2022 after spending 366 days in custody. I would note he has had some issues where the ankle monitor has caused some swelling in his leg. He sent me some photos. I will spare everybody else those photos, but there is noticeable and significant swelling that has been occurring in his leg because of the ankle monitor. Would also note that he's reporting that the charging plug has started to short out and it's making it very difficult for
What
him.
about Mr. Simpson? Mr. Simpson, D. Simpson, D. Simpson, D. Simpson. Goodbye. Don't let him back in. He's driving. Sorry.
That's fine, Your Honor. But Mr. White has been having trouble charging his ankle monitor because the charging plug has started to deteriorate, just normal wear and tear, not anything that he's doing. I would note he has been working for hospitality staffing. They have him stationed at the Marriott Marquis downtown. He did just get Employee of the Month for good attendance, and he is up for a permanent position with the Marriott. So I would ask the court, I don't think that he's any kind of flight risk. He's had no issues since he's been out. He's been great about keeping in touch with me. I think he's proven himself, and I would ask that ankle monitor be removed.
Let's say you missed so he's got 2 cases. He's got the robbery by force, possession of marijuana, and then he's got the escape. Yeah, but he was in 366 days.
This is a 2021 case, and it is still unindicted.
Yeah.
Has he tried to get a replacement for the ankle monitor or
For the cord?
I'm sorry?
For the cord?
Yes.
So
Like-
the replacement cords are, as I understand it, they're kind of pricey.
Yeah, they have to pay for them.
And I think that would present a financial hardship for him.
Okay.
No offenses, Judge. Before this case, he didn't have anything since 2019. So nothing in 2 years and nothing 2 years before that.
What do you think, Ms. Turner?
No objection from the state for that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. White. She'll get me an order. All right, now we got Terry Cummings. Is he on here?
I believe he is on here, Your Honor, and this is Ms. Hanson's case that I am covering for her.
Okay.
The notes that she sent me say that he was originally arrested on these charges on January 23rd, 2022. He was released May 18th of 2022 on a $30,000 bond. Ms. Hanson says that she has no.
Hey, hold on. Mr. Cummings. No, sir. You're driving, aren't you? Are you driving? Bye. No driving. Nope, no driving. Come on now. Give me a break. Let's move on. Let's move on to Dante Simpson. Let's get is your client here, Mr. Simpson.
He was kicked out for driving, Your Honor.
Driving.
But he was here, so honorable
What do you-
mention,
what do you
Your
want?
Honor.
All right, what do you want to do?
But for Mr. Simpson, he is under pretrial services under pre-indictment number 21 CP 204645. There's also an existing indictment number 22 SC 182555. That indictment contains the allegations that are in the CP number. Under 22 SC 182555 in front of Judge DeFore, he's currently completing the adult diversion program, Your Honor, which requires him to check into the DA's office to make sure he's in compliance with the agreed upon proposition that he was given by the DA's office. He is under pretrial services under the 21 CP case. He's been there for over 4 months, Your Honor, without an indictment. So we're simply asking the court to remove the pretrial services condition for the CP case. And then from the state, we're asking for the state to null process that case because the allegations in that case are contained therein under the indictment.
Ms. Turner may need a chance, may have to look at the
And
indictment.
that's fine. And I can,
Yeah.
she's in our courtroom, so I can send it to her.
Okay.
Yes.
So if y'all work it out and you dismiss, just let me know and I'll sign the order. Is that good?
Right.
Okay.
But I guess for the moment, for the pretrial, I think that's something a lot more simple that we can go and get an order signed tonight for.
Well, and it usually is. They only keep them on, what do you say, Bosick, for 90 days? How long do you keep on the pretrial?
It's supposed to be 4 months per standing order.
But he's,
120 days. I'm not sure if they are officially back on track with that yet.
oh, okay.
Due to COVID, but there's a note saying that the case was closed to judicial hold. Is there a judicial hold on this case?
No, there's not a bench or anything that I'm seeing in Odyssey. I just don't see the actual standing closure, the closure order that typically you see in cases after 4 months.
Because that note was put in here. Case closed by judicial hold in February. Or the canceled case meeting hearing was today. 1D. Did he have something in 1D today at 10 o'clock?
Not 1D. 1D would have been where Judge Glanville is, isn't it? Isn't that where Glanville's doing the hearings? Were you in 1D, Ms. Gowdy?
No. I think the entire defense bar is banned from 1D, Your Honor. But in any event, I just want him to be removed from
Ms.
pretrial.
Fiacco said, saying Judge Emerson in 1D is what she said in the chat.
It was a trial, it was not this case.
The 1D didn't have YSL in it. They were in there earlier.
That's 1C.
Oh, I thought they were 1C and D. Bostic, so it looks like he's off of it anyway. They closed it out.
That was one of the last notes. But just do something, what cases?
This one on the calendar, 4645, theft by taking.
You know what? That's where she got confused. Because I see what Ms. Gowdy is saying, because the CP case looks like the indicted case. They combined them. And the SC case is in judicial hold. So it actually should be closed, Judge.
Okay.
This case
And it's
should
judicial
actually-
hold because he's doing adult diversion.
So the CP case should be closed because it's part of the indictment. So
So we'll do the thing to remove it from pretrial services and then let Ms. Turner just verify that. I mean, not that we don't believe you, boss, but let her do it. And then if there's a closer, whatever, you guys can let me know.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right. Come on back, Miss Bassett. All right, so what's your client wanting? Mr. Cummings?
This
Besides
is Miss,
Rob-
this is Miss Hanson's client. Is he pulled over?
I don't know, he hadn't back yet, but just
Oh.
tell me, he was mad because I kicked him out.
I was just about to text Miss Hanson, so she will be probably significantly less stressed out when I don't send her that text message. So it's my understanding that Mr. Cummings and the complaining witness share a child together, but they have worked out a third-party exchange, and that appears to be working well. As far as I know, as far as Ms. Hanson knows, there have been no issues with Mr. Cummings and the complaining witness. I don't have any reason to believe that there's been any contact between the two of them. He does have a good address. He works full time, and he has been on that ankle monitor for almost a year, and there have been no issues.
All right, so what do you want to do? Take the ankle monitor off?
I would very much like that, Your Honor. I'm sure Mr. Cummings would as well.
Ms. Turner, let me see when he bonded out.
State would not object to that, Your Honor.
Okay, yeah, it looks like he bonded out May 15th. Okay. All right. Okay, that's all voted, right? How we doing, Ms. Gaston, on the court reporter?
We're coming. I'm negotiating with one. One just had eye surgery, so their pupils are not undilated. We're coming, but what happened with Miss Fiacco? Is she still on trial and that's why she's not there?
No, Ms. Fiacco.
I think we double booked our court reporter because it was supposed to be Miss Richardson. Miss Richardson was on that same trial.
Ms. Fiacco, is the trial over?
Yes, it concluded this afternoon.
Yeah, she said it's over. Ms. Gaston.
Okay. Do you, Miss Fiacco, by any chance, do you recall who the court reporter was?
I don't know her name. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. But I'm thinking it was Miss Richardson, and I know I booked her for these 2 weeks. So no worries. Okay. Okay, hold on. I think we got Samantha Ingram coming on. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Judge, can I ask for a point of clarity on position number 2, which Ms. Bassett is? She's going to do an order on for position 2 and 3. Is that correct? Because he had 2 positions for Mr. White.
I can do that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that both case numbers reflected in order, so it wouldn't be a problem if one case number had an order and he still didn't have one in the other one.
Thank you for the reminder.
All right, well, till the court reporter gets here, gentlemen, you're looking in the screen. It's not a mirror. Not for you look in, fix your hair, mash your zits, scratch at stuff, or do anything like that, or wave. It's not a time. It's not visitation. All right. Keep your head up. Pay attention. Don't put your head down. Shut the door behind you because that way you'll be able to hear what I'm saying. Today we're addressing bond. It's much like first appearance. We don't talk about guilt or innocence. We don't talk about facts of the case. We talk about what you're charged with, then I address a bond. Everyone in here has been in jail over 90 days, so you're statutorily entitled to a bond. There's nothing you can say today that's going to help you, so your lawyer is going to ask that we're not going to unmute you. So What you do though, when I call your name is you gotta wave, so we'll see who you are. And also, if we ask you a question, it's gonna be yes or no. Yes is a thumbs up, no is a thumbs down. This is what I call a you problem. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. One, we're gonna address your bond conditions. That means it's your problem, not your mama's problem, not your sister's problem, not your baby mama's problem, nobody else's problem, but your problem. So you need to listen. Your public defender will mail you a copy of your bond conditions once this is finished today. You may make the bond and the letter pass you in the mail. So when you get out and get home, you need to call your lawyer and ask for a copy of your bond conditions so that you'll know what you are and are not supposed to do. Don't have it sent to your mama's house. Don't have it sent somewhere else. This is a you problem. If you mess up, your mama's not going to jail. You are. So make sure you pay attention, gentlemen. There may be some stayaways, some ankle monitors, some no further contact. Violating one of those will make you end up back in here. And unfortunately, sometimes you may have to wait another 100 days before you get back in front of me to have your bond addressed again. If you move, you need to let your lawyer know where you moved to so that he or she can put in a change of address. All right, gentlemen, everybody got it? Everybody give me a thumbs up. Outstanding, except a couple people just kind of looking at me. So I'm assuming that the people that didn't give a thumbs up either can't hear or don't know what a thumbs up is or a thumbs down. All right, how we looking, Ms. Gaston? She's coming?
Good evening, Your Honor. I did want to make one announcement for you real quick.
Yes, sir.
I know you had 2 other people who you've removed for driving. I did just want to notify you. If you look at my camera, I am in my vehicle right now, but I am parked. You can see I'm not moving. I will not be moving the entire time. I just happened to need to be somewhere a little bit after this. That was going to take me longer to get to than just being at the office. So
All right. What case you got there, Mr. Lang? You just got one?
I have 2. I have one gentleman, Mr. Sparrow, who has 3 cases, and then I have Mr. Tenney, who has 1 case.
All right. We'll try to, after I take care of these other couple, we'll try to jump on yours quickly. So you can get to where
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
Atlanta traffic.
And Your Honor, I'm here on behalf of position 3, Mr. Mulder for Mr. Cazzoli.
Okay. All right, as soon as we get the court reporter on here, we'll take care of all this.
Judge, the court reporter is getting ready to join.
Okay. All right, well, at least while we're here, let's make sure we're on the same sheet of music with the ones that have been removed. So, Brian West. Let's see, sorry, that was the other one. Let me see, which ones have been removed? That was a modification. Removal was. Here we go. Ones that have been removed have been David Stevens. No David Stevens in the booth, right? Shouldn't be. Antoine Sutton shouldn't be in there either, and neither should Demetia Taylor. ACDC, the court reporter's coming right now.
Okay, she should, the court reporter should be judging in a moment. Oh, Lord. The court reporter should be joining in a moment, Judge. Can't get my words together.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Ms. Gaston, could you send her the calendar also?
I sent it with the Zoom link.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
There she is. All right, Ms. Bosky, we'll also make you co-host if you'd like to have the backup, the recording for your backup.
Thank you.
All right, you ready, Ms. Bosky?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, we're gonna start with position 6. ACDC, you ready? This is 22 CP 212136. Quintal Jones, 226 days without indictment, charged with aggravated assault. There is a $7,500 good bond as of September the 9th. Pre-trial. Wake up, Bostic. You're on me.
Jones, 2 FTAs, 15 and 19, 5 misdemeanors, battery, family violence in 2018, battery, disorder conduct, simple battery, 1 probation violation, open case 22 CR 00129 simple battery, obstruction, possession, drug-related objects. That was for murder, and stay away from 132 Mitchell Street. Nothing further.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Gowdy.
And yes, Your Honor, before the court is Miss Jones. She is 28 years old, Judge. We reset this case from the March calendar because there was a pending ex parte. We were confident she was going to come back competent, but Viewpoint needed her most recent mental health records to reinstate services for her. I'm happy to announce to the court that Viewpoint has essentially restarted those services on her behalf. So she'll be getting mental health services, access to a counselor, and she'll also be able to get her mental health medication once she is out. In addition, Your Honor, she's had a recent interview with PAD as well as Women on the Rise and Mary Freedom Village Hall, all of which would provide temporary housing, Your Honor, and other support services aimed in particular at women, Your Honor. She has been in custody for 200 days, Your Honor, without an indictment. I don't see an indictment on the horizon, Judge. Allegations that she threw a bottle at someone on the train, Judge. And I do believe at that time she was unmedicated, but I think now with medication back in place, with her having services that will be in place as she exits the jail, Your Honor, I think she'll be in a much better position to be successful, Judge. So we're asking for bond to be reduced to something along the lines of $3,000 to $4,000, Judge. That'll make her eligible for the bail project, Your Honor. Obviously, a stay away from MARTA will be a part of the bond order. No further contact with the listed victim. Even though I don't believe that Ms. Jones knows this person personally, doesn't have their phone number, email address, anything of that source, Your Honor. And whichever other conditions to make sure that she's compliant. I don't know if an ankle monitor would be necessarily necessary in this case, Your Honor. Because of Pat in particular, I think they've noted concerns about the fact that with them, moving people around, they have a hard time managing whether or not a place will actually have the capacity to make sure they'll have consistent access to an ankle monitor charger, or a place to charge the charger, Your Honor. And so I don't want her to be in PAD in particular, right? And lose the capacity to actually charge her ankle monitor because PAD is in limbo or moving her to another place. And within that time period, the ankle monitor goes dead, Your Honor. So that's the concern as relates to PAD and her having the ankle monitor, Judge. But that's our argument for bond at this time, Judge.
All right, what says the state?
Based on Mrs. Jones's criminal history with the pending case dealing with, I think it was battery,
Aggravated assault.
aggravated assault. No, not I thought she had another pending case.
Oh, the one that's pending, yes.
Yes. So and based on the previous convictions for simple assault and battery, where we think that the bond is reasonable and should not be lowered.
All right. No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. So she's probably gonna live in Fulton County, right, Ms. Gowdy? Because there was an Ellenwood address previously.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. All right, stay away from MARTA, ma'am. That's all MARTA. Trains, automobiles, bus stops. If you walk past the bus stop, you cannot sit down at the bench on the bus stop and tie your shoe. You have to walk past that and sit on the curb. So stay away from all MARTA. Instead of an ankle monitor, we're gonna put you on the Talatrix. It's that watch, Ms. Gowdy. I think the charge holds a lot longer. And I think Ms. Hunter knows how to write that up. So you're under a 24-hour curfew, except for court, lawyer, medical, employment, and then any mental health treatment or any treatment or any kind of facility or program that Ms. Gowdy gets you into. Stay away from 435 West Peachtree Street. No further contact with Ryan Adams. $4,000 good bond. Best of luck to you, ma'am. I've already sent the list email to Ms. Willis.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, South Annex.
Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.
Right. Wayne Mulder. Wait, he was supposed to be in Cobb. Let's see. Joseph, let me take one of the Cobb. Joseph Taylor. All right, gotcha. Here you go. Position 10, 21 CP 202174, 617 days without indictment. There's a $12,000 good bond as of February the 23rd. Possession of firearm during the commission of or attempt to commit certain felonies and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Multi-state offender in Florida, domestic battery 2011, 2013, probation violation, FTAs 2013, 17, and 19, possession of cocaine 2017, nothing further.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Bassett.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Taylor is 32 years old. He is from the state of Florida, which is adjacent to Georgia. I think that is close enough for him to return to court. He does have his own music label. He has 5 children. He is close with his father. His father lives in Atlanta, I believe. That is a 404 number. I did inherit this case from Miss Gowdy. I am very impressed with how organized her files are. Always happy to get cases from her. I would note that he has been in custody, as you said, Your Honor, 617 days without an indictment. That is unconscionable. I don't know how he could make any bond. I know that 12,000 is too high. That is unreasonable for him. I would note that Mr. Taylor is asserting his right to a speedy trial. He is demanding a speedy trial. I fully intend on filing a constitutional speedy motion to dismiss. The state needs to fish or cut bait. And I would ask the court to consider a $5,000 good bond.
All right, what says the state?
The state believes the bond is at a reasonable amount at this time with reasonable conditions.
So, Ms. Bassett, where's he going to live? Because I have a Florida address.
Your Honor, I believe that Florida address is still a good address.
All right. No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons, no further contact with Marty Brown. Stay away from Woodruff Park and all parks in the city of Atlanta. Stay away from 51 Peachtree Street. Stay out of Fulton County unless you're here for court or to see your lawyer. You're going to have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew. Court, lawyer, medical, employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment schedule, and the exact location you're going to be working. You have to supply that to the ankle monitoring company and to Miss Bassett. 4,000 on count 1, 4,000 on count 2. Best of luck to you, sir.
Judge Manning,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mulder is in Cobb. It should be booth 3.
Well, the other guy in booth 3, Wayne Mulder.
Do a thumbs up, Mr. Mulder.
Okay,
Thank
well, the other guy waved his hand. That's why I'm like, okay, Wayne Mulder. All right, gentlemen, Mr. Taylor, you go ahead and lead the booth. Thank you. Let's see, this number 3, 22 CP 211943, Wayne Mulder, 233 days without indictment, aggravated armed robbery, aggravated assault, possession of firearm during the commission of or attempt to commit certain felonies. There's a $34,000 good bond as of December the 13th. Pre-trial.
Judge, in regards to Mr. Mulder, 2 prior arrests. The other arrest is an open case out of Clayton County of terroristic threats felony from a February the 7th of 2022 arrest. Nothing further.
All right. Go ahead, Ms. Kenner. Was Mr. Kozlov, it's not you, Ms. Kenner Bruton. Is he gonna live? Where's he gonna live?
Your Honor, he is going to live at 941 Margaret Place Northwest. That is in Fulton County, Atlanta, Georgia, 30318. And I verified that address with his grandmother today. He is 18 years of age. He's been in custody for 233 days without an indictment. His preliminary hearing was held on December 16th of 2022. So we're at 4 going on 5 months and still no indictment. He was arrested on August 31st of 2022, Your Honor. He is currently held with a $34,000 good bond. We're asking for that bond to be reduced, not to exceed $15,000. And if you are inclined, we're asking for a UJR to the Clayton County hold. If you're not, again, the bond not to exceed $15,000.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Turner.
The state is of the opinion that it should not be lowered at this time. We believe it's reasonable based on the history with the terroristic threat still pending. So we think it remain where it is.
All right, no drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. Stay away from 3300 Lyndhurst Drive Southwest. Gonna have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew. Court, lawyer, medical. Is he still gonna plan on going to school?
He was in school, Your Honor. I'm assuming he would be able to go back. When he was arrested, he was a senior at Stockbridge High School. So we're anticipating him being able to go back so he can complete his degree.
Okay.
His diploma.
All right, and school, as long as he provides proof of employment, his schedule, and proof that he's going. But I had to stay out of Fulton County, so now he's not gonna live back down in Henry County, right?
No, he is living in Fulton County. Remember, I gave you the 941.
No,
Margaret.
remember, I said previously I had to stay out of Fulton County. So
Okay.
now he's going to live in Fulton County. So I'll remove that. 10,000, 10,000, and 5,000. Best of luck to you, sir. You can leave the booth.
Thank you, Your Honor, and that completes my business. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am, and I've already sent a list to Miss Willis. All right,
Thank
let's
you.
see. Travis Smith. Travis Smith. You gotta wave your hand if you're Travis Smith.
Judge,
There you go.
I have a Travis Sims. Is that the same
That's
person?
Travis Sims. Sorry, yeah, Travis Sims. All right, Mr. Mulder, you can leave the booth. Leave, Mr. Mulder. Mr. Mulder. Bye. You can leave. All right, Mr. Sims, 214 days without indictment, 22 CP 212482. Possession of cocaine, driving, fleeing, attempting to elude, VGCSA, possession of methamphetamine with intent to distribute, possession of Schedule 3, 4, or 5, driving improper erratic lane change, drugs not in original container, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, drive on expired license plate or decal, reckless driving, failure to obey traffic signal or light, tampering with evidence, misdemeanor, and obstruction, misdemeanor. Right now, it said there is 23.1 grams of meth, 12 Xanax pills, 1.8 grams of coke. Let's see, 8.5 grams of weed, and I think that might, oh, and there's one more. I think it's 80 other pills. Rah.
7 prior arrests, simple battery, family violence in 20, tampering with evidence in 2021, drug-related objects, open case 1, Schedule 4, another Schedule 4 and drug-related objects from a 1/21/22 arrest out of Norcross. Nothing further.
All right, it's a $74,000 split bond right now.
Thank
ahead.
you, Judge.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Sims is 43 years old. He's resided here in Georgia since 1998. He has 3 young children, ages 10, 8, and 3. He has regular contact with and supports them financially. He did make it through the 10th grade and was most recently working at a temp agency called Labor Ready, doing construction work as well as cooking work. He believes that he can go back and work for that agency if released on bond. Miss Cole did leave a note for me that we do actively have a social social worker working on helping him get into a program. However, he does have a hold out of Gwinnett. And so any program that we do get him into would have to hold that spot for him. Right now, after 214 days without indictment and a bond at $74,000, it's impossible for him to be able to make that. So we are asking for a significant reduction. I'll skip past the UJR jails, but we are asking for count 1 to be lowered to 1,000, count 2, 5,000, count 3, 20,000, count 4, 1,000, count 9, 3,000, count 11, 3,000 for a total bond of $33,000. Thank you.
All right. Gentlemen, stop playing with your hair. Sit up straight so I can see you. Don't want to look at the top of your head. Sit up, sit up, sit up. It's not a mirror. Sit up. Booth 6, booth 3. 6 out. There you go. Sit up, everybody. Go ahead, Miss Turner.
The state, based on the pending cases dealing with drug charges and the defendant's other criminal history, we ask that it not be lowered at this time.
All right. No drugs unless prescribed. No alcohol. No weapons. Where's he going to live, Miss Rosenhoover?
So right now, Judge, we have a social worker working on it. We're not sure exactly where he's going to live. So we'd ask that he not be banned from Fulton County.
Okay. You're going to have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew, except for court, lawyer, medical, and employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment schedule, and the exact location you're going to be working. Must provide an address before you're released from the jail. Stay away from the Holcomb Bridge, Eves Road area. No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons, no driving unless you have a valid license, insurance, and registration. 1,000 on count 1, 5,000 on count 2, 40,000 on count 3, 1,000 on count 4, 3,000 on count 9, and 3,000 on count 11. The others are UJR through the jail. Got that, Miss Hunter?
No, I missed the last one. The last bond amount. I got everything except for the last bond amount.
So 9 and 11 are 3,000 apiece.
Thank you.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. You can leave the booth. All right. Let's see. Is Jalen Tenney. Jalen Tenney. All right, sir. Mr. Lane. Got position 17, 22, CP 215020, 111 days without indictment. There's a $14,000 good bond as of December 31st on theft by receiver stolen property, possession of a firearm or a knife during the commission of or attempt to commit certain felonies, misdemeanor obstruction, reckless driving. Pre-trial.
5 prior arrests, took a PTI on entering auto in 2020, first offender for theft by receiving stolen property in 2018, and fleeing and eluding. Open case for financial transaction card fraud, financial transaction card theft, criminal attempt to commit a felony. Nothing further.
Go ahead, Mr. Lane.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Tenney is 22 years old, born and raised here in Georgia, lived his entire life here, completed the 10th grade here. As a 2 month at the time of his arrest. He's been in custody for 4 months. So a 6 months old daughter is his only child. He lives at the address of record with his mother. Looking at the information, and I apologize for employment. He's worked for Amazon for the last 6 months, help picking and packing orders at one of their warehouse locations. Based on the information presented, looking at the nature of the charges and the nature of his history and the fact that he's been in custody 4 months without indictment, I'm asking the court at bare minimum to cut the bond in half to $7,000 good. I'd be asking the court to consider 5 so I can put it through the bail project.
All right, Ms. Turner.
The state is asking that the bond not be lowered at this time.
All right, no drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. Stay away from 2020 Lee Street Southwest. No further contact with Hannah Olson, HANNAHOLSEN. 5,000, 4,000, 250, and 500. 5,000, 4,000, $250, and $500. Best of luck to you, sir. You can leave the booth. All right, we got the other one is Aaron Sparrow. Mr. Sparrow, wave your hand if you're in the booth. Not yet. All right.
Your Honor, he's not in the booth. He's going to come in the booth after the defendant that's in booth 4.
Okay. Let's see. Eric Harris. All right. 22 CP 214967, number 13, Bostic, 114 days without indictment. There's a $8,200 good bond as of December the 28th. Possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, driving expired or no license plate or decal, no insurance, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and driver in possession of an open container. Pre-trial.
Extensive criminal history, repeat offender, 36 prior arrests, at least 7 felonies. The last one, though, appears to be an 01 firearm by a convicted felon. History of theft by receiving stolen property and burglaries, 5 misdemeanors, 1 being a very old DUI, 1 FTA in 2017, 3 arrests for probation violation. Nothing further.
Go ahead, Mr. Rhodes.
Yes, Judge. Mr. Harris is 58 years old. He's been in jail now for 114 days without indictment on this $8,200 bond. If I have that right, yes, $8,000, $200. He does have the address on file where he would be staying at. He'd be staying there with his mother. He has family in Georgia. He is from here in Georgia. He has an 8-year-old daughter as well. Currently, he's on SSI, a fixed income. And as it stands, no one's really able to make the bond that he has currently. Judge, from as far as I'm aware, his last kind of engagement with the criminal court system was quite some time ago. I'll say at least 10 years ago. And, these charges, although they are serious, of course, there is a felony involved. There's nothing violent. There's no victim involved. I would ask for a UJR on these charges, considering the situation, though I am aware that that is essentially illegal, especially for the weapons charge. That in mind, Judge, I would ask for a $1,000 bond on the firearm charge and $500 on each of the misdemeanors.
All right. Ms. Turner?
Due to the defendant's criminal history, including 7 felonies, we do not believe that he's a good candidate for a lower bond. So we ask for it to remain where it is.
All right, no drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons, no driving unless you have valid driver's license, insurance, and registration. 4,000 count 1, $100 count 2, $500 count 3, $100 count 4, and $100 count 5. 4,000, 100, 500, 100, and 100. Best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Judge. That's the case. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Edward Bazemore. I picked the wrong one. All right. Let's see. Position 2, 22 CP 211811, 238 days without indictment. So the only thing we have left in this one is the hijacking in the 2nd degree. Am I right, Ms. Beck?
That's correct, Your Honor.
I think there's no bond on that one count because the others were either null prost or indicted.
That's correct, yes.
Judge, in regards to Mr. Bazemore, 14 prior arrests, 1 misdemeanor, 1 arrest for probation violation, 07 robbery and false imprisonment. Open case 23 SC 187 148, Schedule 2, and a firearm by. Nothing further.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Beck.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Bazemore is 37 years old. He has 1 child who is 21 years old. He went through Decatur Technical School and he was a graduate from there prior to his arrest, but now that it's been 238 days, I'm not sure if he could get that job back. However, prior to his arrest, he was self-employed as a construction and doing handyman work. He's originally from New Jersey, but has lived in Georgia since 1991. The address on file on Roxbury Drive is still a good address for him, and he lives there with his mother. So as you mentioned, the other cases were either indicted or null prost. And the hijacking was not. That's the only one that's left, as you mentioned. If I were to take a wild guess, it's because of what came out during the preliminary hearing where there was a lot up in the air, very unreliable witness. The reporting party was very unreliable. She had lied. So I just would like you to take all of that into consideration, why they did choose only why they left this one is what I'm trying to say. Based on that, we are asking for a $4,000 bond for this one charge, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Turner, and right now it's 10,000 on this count. Go ahead, Ms. Turner.
Due to the nature of the offense and the defendant's criminal history, we are asking that this bond not be lowered at this time.
All right, no drugs.
May I ask if the state has had contact with the victim, alleged victim?
Yeah, Susan Carter.
Not that I'm aware of.
Your Honor, I also would like to note that in the entire time that I've been on this case, there has been no victim contact.
Does he have a bond on the indicted case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And it is, if I remember correctly, oh, I did write it down. I'm so sorry. He has $6,000 for those two charges combined that were indicted. So that's why we are asking for this to be so low so that he is able to bond out now that those two charges have been indicted.
All right, sir, you're gonna live in, that's Clayton County? Thumbs up or thumbs down? All right, good. Stay out of Fulton County unless you're for court or to see your lawyer. Don't get gas, don't get a flat tire, don't stop for a snack on your way to court or to see your lawyer. You gotta do all that in Clayton County before you come here. You can have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew, court, lawyer, medical, and employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment schedule, and the exact location you're going to be working. Stay away from 2471 Old National Highway, which should be fine because that's in Fulton County and you can't come here. No further contact with Susan Carter. $7,000 good bond. Best of luck to you, sir. You can leave the booth.
That concludes my matters for this evening. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
We don't have Mr. Sparrow yet, do we? No. All right. What about Trenton Thompson? All right. Position 24, Bostic 22 CP 212643, 208 days without indictment. There's a $10,000 good bond as of December the 21st on robbery by sudden snatching. Pre-trial.
Judge, in regards to Mr. Thompson, 7 prior arrests, violent arrest history, misdemeanor, simple battery, 2 counts from February 2022, open case Clayton, aggravated battery. Nope, sorry. Took first offender. Battery 5/22/21, 1 year confinement, 4 years probation. Another and Covington for aggravated battery, 3/15/21. Nothing further.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Rosenhofer. I think he still lives in Covington, sir.
He will be living in Albany, Georgia with his aunt. We don't have that specific address right now, but he's working on getting that. So yes, he'll be in Albany, Judge.
Okay, go ahead.
He is 26 years old, a lifelong Georgia resident. His entire family lives here. As I stated, he will be living in Albany with his aunt. He earned his high school diploma and did attend the University of Georgia for a little while. He most recently was doing DoorDash. And Your Honor, just briefly into the facts, I believe that the allegation is that a cell phone was taken, and apparently when police responded, which was almost immediately, no cell phone was recovered. Those are the notes from Ms. Cole. At this time, given the fact that he has been in custody over 200 days without indictment and can't afford this bond, we're asking for a reduction to $5,000 so that we can utilize the services of the bail project. Thank you.
Ms. Turner.
Due to the defendant's violent history, criminal history, we're asking that this bond not be lowered at this time.
All right. No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. You're going to have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew, court, lawyer, medical, and employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment, a schedule, and the exact location you're going to be working. Stay out of Fulton County, sir. The only reason you come to Fulton County is court or to see your lawyer. Fill up with gas before you get to Fulton County, throw snacks in the car, stuff to drink, everything. You do not stop in Fulton County for absolutely anything. Stay away from 5700 Boswell Road in Sandy Springs. No further contact with Antonio Lopez. $8,000 good bond. Best of luck to you, sir. You can leave the booth. Eugene McWhite. All right, it's position 11. Miss Fiacco. This is 21 CP 205444. 479 days without indictment. There's a $25,000 good bond as of December the 1st. Aggravated assault, family violence, robbery by force, simple battery, possession of a firearm or knife during the commission of a felony. Pre-trial.
Judge, 9 prior arrests, violent arrest history. 1 arrest for probation violation, 2010 drugs. Open case 23 CP 217295 aggravated battery. And Douglas on probation from 6/18/18 aggravated battery. Aggravated assault firearm during aggravated battery, 2 counts. Sentence in 2018, 5 years confinement, 5 years probation. And did I say terrorist threats too?
No, you just
Nothing
did.
further.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Fiacco. Like I said, I've already sent all the names of anybody over 200 days to the DA.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I do appreciate that because Mr. McWhite has been in custody now for 479 days without indictment. This afternoon, I filed a demand asserting Mr. McWhite's right to a constitutional speedy trial, and that should be hitting Odyssey soon. I CC'd Deputy Hutchinson on that email. And I've also been in contact with Deputy Hutchinson about how the complaining witness in this case has signed a waiver of prosecution, but that is still not getting us anywhere. It's not moving the case forward, making a charging decision, or having the state respond in any meaningful way. Like I said, 473 days. Mr. McWhite, he is 31 years old. He lives in the Metro Atlanta area. He's lived here since he was in middle school. The incident location is where he was living, so he understands that he can't go back there. And so we are asking the court to consider a significant reduction. When he was arrested, he was in the process of applying for SSI, so he does not have an income. Your Honor, we're asking for the bond to be cut in half in this case.
Is he going to be living in Fulton County?
Well, he needs to find a new place to live because the incident location was where it was.
Location. Are you going to look at Fulton County, sir? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Get your fingers on your nose.
Thumbs down, not looking.
Okay, not looking at Fulton. Okay. All right, what says Ms. Turner?
The state thinks the bond is reasonable at this time due to the defendant's criminal history.
All right, no drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. You're going to have an income monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew. Court, lawyer, medical, or employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, place of employment, schedule, and the exact location you're going to be working. Stay away from 765 McDaniel Street. Stay out of Fulton County unless you're here for court or to see your lawyer. You have to supply a sufficient address where you'll be residing to the staff and to the income monitor company when you get released. Yeah, 4,000, 4,000. 1,000 and 5,000. 4,000, 4,000, 1,000, 5,000. Best of luck to you, sir. You leave the booth. Natron Williams. All right. Number 23 CP 215179, 107 days without indictment, no bond as of January the 5th, armed robbery, aggravated assault, possession of a firearm or knife during the commission of or attempt to commit certain felonies. Pre-trial.
6 prior arrests. Conviction is a 2018 theft by shoplifting, 1 arrest for probation violation. Open case 22 CP 211572. Armed robbery, firearm during and aggravated assault. Nothing further.
All right. Ms. Kennebrew, is this yours?
No, it isn't, Judge. That's why I was waiting.
Oh.
Originally, this is Attorney Ricardo Mosby.
Yes,
And
sir.
I did enter my appearance. I got the link from Ms. Kennebrew. They still had her on the record, so I will be taking care of it today.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Mr. Williams is 22 years old, Your Honor. He is born and raised here in Atlanta, lives here, has lived here all his life, obviously. He went to Riverdale High School, but he did not complete his requirements for his diploma. I am happy to report, though, that he has signed up for the GED program while he's been incarcerated, and his plan is to continue and finish that up. Just prior to this, Judge, right when he was arrested, he had an interview at Publix in Dunwoody. I'm not sure if he'll be able to get that opportunity back, but he was actively looking for a job. And so we're asking and requesting, Judge, a reasonable bond for him. He hasn't been working for a while. So we're asking for a global good bond of $15,000 if the court can make that happen.
He lives in Clayton County?
He lives in, well, he will be living with his father, Judge, and that's on Madison Drive. That's in Atlanta, 30346. So that will be in Fulton.
All right. Ms. Turner, there's no bond right now.
Due to the open case involving armed robbery and his criminal history as a whole, we're asking for $100,000 bond on each as a minimum. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, no drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. Stay away from 399 Edgewood Avenue. No further contact with Kevin Lemon, Lemon. You're gonna have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew, court, lawyer, medical, employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment schedule, and the exact location you're going to be working. Yes, supply that to the ankle monitoring company and to your lawyer, sir. So you got 50,000 count 1, 30,000 count 2, and 20,000 count 3. Best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Judge, and I have nothing further. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. What about
you, ma'am.
Aaron Sparrow? There we go. Mr. Lang. All right, it's 3 cases on here, Bostic. We got 22 CP 215024, 112 days without indictment, theft, burglary in the first degree, theft by taking felony, criminal damage to property, second degree, no bond. 22 CP 025, 112 days without indictment, no bond as of December 30th. Possession of firearm by a convicted felon. Position 16 is 22 CP 215026, 112 days without indictment. There is no bond as of December 31st on VGCSA, possession of controlled substance, schedule 1 or 2 with intent to distribute. Possession of MDMA with intent to distribute, possession of a knife or a firearm during the commission of or attempt to commit certain felonies, possession of drug-related objects, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute. That's 15 grams of shrooms, 5 grams of MDMA, and 209 grams of marijuana. Free from. Bostic.
I'm here. Okay, that was a felony. That's his felony. 10 arrests, 2 arrests for probation violation. FTA, his felony is a felony in eluding in 2018. Open case, another open case, but it's a misdemeanor. 23-000-37G, driving, fleeing and eluding, failing to obey, reckless driving. Nothing further.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Lang.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sparrow is 24 years old, born and raised here in Georgia, lives in Atlanta, Georgia, should be the address on file. He has 6 minor children, all of whom live with him, all of whom he is the primary financial and physical caregiver for. He made it to the 12th grade. He did not graduate, but he was in GED classes. He's not been able to finish his GED yet. He is hoping that if he's able to get out, he can return to the GED program and finish it. He's certified through HVAC, through the Job Corps. He got that certification about 4 years ago. He's been working in the construction industry for a couple of years. He helps kind of co-own and co-operate a construction company with one of the grandparents of his children. Looking at the information presented, understanding the number of cases here, Mr. Sparrow has been in custody since New Year's Eve without a bond in this case. I'm asking the court on position 14, case ending in 024, to set a $7,500 good bond, $2,500 on each charge. On 15, case ending in 025, I'm asking the court for a $5,000 good bond. And on position 16, case ending in 026, I am asking the court for a total bond in that case not to exceed $7,500 good. This would create a total bond of $25,000 good spread across all 3 cases.
All right, Ms. Turner.
Due to these pending cases on the calendar today and the defendant's criminal history, we are asking for a minimum of $50,000 for each pending charge.
Is he gonna live at the house on Old National Highway?
No, Your Honor. It's an address on Continental Colony Parkway. It was read off at first appearance. I just don't know if it was updated in the system or not.
Yeah, is it Fulton County, sir? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Okay, gotcha. All right, position 14, no drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. Stay away from 3871 Red Wine Road Southwest. No further contact with Derek Thomas. No further contact with Kejuan, Kejuan Wiggins, Wiggins. Have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew, court, lawyer, medical, and employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment schedule, the exact location you're going to be working. 10,000, 10,000, and 5,000. Weapons, you got an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew, court, lawyer, medical, and employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment schedule, the exact location you're going to be working. $10,000 good bond. Position 16, no drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. You got an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew, except for court, lawyer, medical, employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment schedule, and the exact location you're going to be working. So we got 10,000, 10,000, 15,000, possession of drug-related objects, UJR through the jail, and 20,000 on the weed. Best of luck to you, sir. You can leave the booth. All right, Omer Foster. Thank
Your
you.
Honor, that concludes my business with you.
Yes, sir. Good luck in traffic.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good evening.
You too. Omer Foster. All right. Gentlemen, if you get up and leave, don't go down there like talking to folks. Go get your meds, come back. Because if you leave, I'm skipping over you. Stay in the booth. All right. All right. Position 18, 113 days without indictment. There's a $38,500 good bond as of December the 31st. 22 CP 215037. Omer Foster. Possession of marijuana with intent to distribute. Possession of a controlled substance in Schedule 3, 4, or 5 with intent to distribute. Possession of controlled substance in 1 or 2 with intent to distribute. Possession of controlled substance in Schedule 1 or 2 with intent to distribute. Possession of firearm or knife during the commission of or attempt to commit certain felonies. We got 109 grams of weed, some promethazine hydrochloride, 7.8 grams of crack, 19 Xanax pills, and a 12-gauge shotgun. Preach! Rah!
7 prior arrests, no real felony, took a first offender on a burglary in 2012, 3 misdemeanors, nothing further.
Go ahead, Ms. Rosenhoover.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Foster is 28 years old. He is a lifelong Georgia resident. Most of his family is here in the metro Atlanta area, where he's specifically been for the past 10 years. He has 2 young children, and he does live at the address on file. I submitted a change of address early March. He lives there with his wife and his children. His wife did have to quit her job since Mr. Foster's been in custody to care for their children, and they really are struggling to make ends meet right now. He's also a high school graduate, graduated in 2013, and for work, he was working on building industrial scaffolding. He's been doing that for 4 years now. He was also part of the Carpenters Union and has been since 2018 and got a number of certifications through that, from wood framing to safety and fire hazard certifications, asbestos certifications, forklift, everything. And he is anxious to get out and be able to provide for his family. Additionally, Judge, he's been a part of the New Beginnings program at the jail, and they've recommended other substance abuse and recovery programs out on the outside that he intends to get involved with. He is looking forward to that. And also, Judge, I just want to point out the bond order that I have says that it is currently at a straight bond, which has definitely imposed an obstacle to him. We are asking for a reduction and for it to be a good bond. For count 1, we're asking for $3,000, count 2, $3,000, count 3, $6,000, count 4, $6,000, and count 5, $3,000 for a total of a $21,000 good bond. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Turner.
We are in the opinion that the bond is reasonable at this time, and we ask for no reduction.
All right. Let's see, 4,000 count 1, 4,000 count 2, 6,000 count 3, 8,000 count 4, 4,000 count 5. Got that, Ms. Hunter?
Yeah, I got it.
No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. Wait, did a change of address to Riverdale. That's Clayton County, sir? All right, stay out of Fulton County unless you're here for court or to see your lawyer. Don't get gas, don't get a snack, don't stop for anything. Straight to court, park, go inside or see your lawyer, and then get out of Fulton County. You're gonna have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew, except for court, lawyer, medical, and employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment schedule, the exact location you're going to be working. Stay away from 840 McDonough Boulevard, which is in Fulton County, so you should be fine. Best of luck to you, sir. You can leave the booth. Brian Middlebrooks. Mr. Middlebrooks. All right. No bond as of December the 31st. He's got 2 cases. Let's see. 22 CP 215065, 113 days. Theft by receiving stolen property, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, reckless driving. 22 CP 213788. There's a $16,000 good bond on theft by taking felony, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, willful obstruction. On here, it says, Ms. Rosenhuber, that he's posted that bond. Did they come off of that?
From what I understand, Judge, that case is not holding him in. That bond is still good, and he's just being held on the first case that you read.
Okay, all right, well, can we just leave it alone in case it's not in there?
I would prefer that we left it alone.
Okay, all right, well, if it's not and something pops up, you just get back on the calendar.
Absolutely.
Bostic, preach, rah. You're all broke up, Bostic. Put some minutes on your phone and you're coughing.
My bad. In regards to Mr. Middlebrooks, 22 prior arrests, extensive criminal history, 3 FTAs, at least 4 felonies, aggravated assault, theft by receiving firearm during entering autos, open case 21 SC 179232, armed by, that's in judicial hold, 22 CP 213788, theft by taking and misdemeanor possession. Nothing further.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Rosenhuber.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Middlebrooks is 38 years old. He is a lifelong Georgia resident. I did update his address with the clerk's office, and he'll be living at 422 Baker Circle Northwest. That's here in Atlanta, Georgia. He has 2 children, a 20-year-old and a 5-year-old daughter. He'd be residing with his sister. He made it to the 8th grade and later earned his GED in 2006, and most recently was working for Todd's Pate's Tree Service. He's been doing that for about 3 months, and he's told me that he can go right back and continue to work with him, that he's confirmed that. He also had some very severe medical issues when he was booked in. And Judge, at this time, he is legally entitled to a bond. We're at 113 days and he's been held on a no bond status. He has a hold. We're asking for a bond that does not exceed $10,000 total. Thank you.
All right, what says the state?
For counts 1 through 3, we're asking for $50,000 each, and for count 4, we're asking for $1,000 bond.
All right, what about, okay. All right, so no drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. Stay away from 1300 North Avenue. Gonna have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew. Court, lawyer, medical, or employment, as long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment, schedule, the exact location you're gonna be working. But as a high-speed chase, you struck a tree, you flipped your car, so no driving unless this bond is modified, sir. 10, 15, 15, and 5. 10,000, 15,000, 15,000, and 5,000. Best of luck to you, sir. All right, Keith Thomas. Right, it's position 21, 22 CP 210792. 276 days without indictment. There's a $5,000 split bond as of November the 2nd for terroristic threats and act, criminal trespass, obstruction of a law enforcement officer, criminal attempt to commit a misdemeanor, and willful obstruction felony. Preach! Rah! You're on mute, Bostic.
Oh. Extensive criminal history, repeat offender, 46 prior arrests, at least 12 misdemeanors, at least 7 felonies, 4 FTAs, history of aggravated assaults, robberies, forgery, firearm during Schedule 4, 5, probation violation. Nothing further.
Go ahead, Ms. Rosenhuber.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Thomas is 59 years old. He has resided here in Georgia since 1990. We do have a new address for him. His brother, Andre Thomas, actually came down to Georgia to bond him out. He'll be residing in Delaware, and Ms. Cole will file a change of address if he is to be released on bond. He did have a stable address here in Georgia, but since he's been in custody for 276 days, he has lost his place here. Let's see, he has 1 adult daughter and 3 grandchildren. He earned his associate's degree in culinary arts and hotel management. Previously, he was working at a New York Prime as a chef, but he would need to find new employment since he has been in custody now for so long, and he would be able to do that in Delaware. We'd also request that this be added to the list to be indicted quickly. This has been an extensive amount of time he's been in custody. And Judge, just so you know, I'm looking at the bond order, but what shows in Odyssey right now is just $2,500 for count 1 and $1,000 for count 5. Nothing else is holding him in. So he's being held on a $3,500 bond right now. And we're asking that it does not exceed 2,500. So frankly, Judge, I'm not sure how that happened or what's going on with Odyssey, but we'd ask that the total bond not exceed 2,500 since that's all that his brother has to bond him out. Thank you.
So what I'm looking at as of November is 2,000 count one. And obviously he's going to be in Delaware, so the other two can't go through pretrial. Then 1,000 and 1,000.
That's what I'm seeing too. I'm just looking at Odyssey on the jail side. It's showing as a $3,500 bond. I'm not sure.
Ms. Turner.
The state is asking that the bond not be lowered at this time due to the defendant's criminal history. We believe is reasonable.
No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. Stay away from 50 Upper Alabama Street. No further contact with Curtis Motley, Motley. You're going to have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew. Court, lawyer, medical, employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment schedule, the exact location you're going to be working. Stay out of Fulton County. So the only reason you come to Fulton County's court or to see your lawyer. You better keep that ankle monitor charged. So we got 2,000, 250, 250, 250 and 2,000. 2,000, 250, 250, 250 and 2,000. Best of luck to you, sir. All right, let's see. Travis Williams. Travis Williams. Nobody wants to wave their hand. Nobody's Travis Williams. Okay, now we got to wave them a hand. Position 7, 211 days without indictment. 22 CP 212554. Aggravated assault. $50,000 bond as of December 20th. Preach. Rah.
Violent arrest history, 23 prior arrests in Georgia, at least 6 misdemeanors, probably 7 felonies, couple of FTAs. Felonies are purchase, manufacturing, sale of drugs, 2017 ag, 02 ag, drugs again. 2018 ag, simple battery, family violence, CWAC charge. Those victims was Trinity Hall and
5 South, booth 4. Come in and sit down.
nothing further.
Ms. Sampson.
It should be somebody else, Judge, because she's no longer with the PD's office.
Yeah, that's true. Who's covered this for anybody? Anybody? I can go ahead and help you. Ms. Turner's gonna say bond's good as it is. So I got her part. Anybody wants to be a public defender? Ms. Gowdy. Come on, Ms. Gowdy.
Everybody has left the building.
Right.
Is anybody listening?
Judge, I can look to see whose case that's supposed to be. I'll just need a second. But if I can get notes, I'm happy to handle any hearing. I just have nothing in front of me.
All right. Oh, and who we got one, Mr. Tessier, who's gone also. And then we got yours. How about we go to Miss Fiaco's case? Anthony, we'll be back to you, sir. Anthony Reese. All right. How about this, Miss Fiaco? This is 21 CP 200590. Anthony Reese, 679 days without indictment. As of December the 1st, there is a $50,000 good bond as of on armed robbery. Raw. Head up, 4 South, booth 3. Head up. Get up. There you go. Go ahead, Boston.
Extensive arrest history, under 45 prior arrests, 1 misdemeanor, at least 7 felonies, going back to 07, cocaine with intent, robbery, cocaine, theft by receiving stolen property, at least 3 FTAs, 5 arrests for probation violations, prior robbery. Nothing further.
Go ahead, Ms. Fiaco.
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of Mr. Reese, like you said, he's been in for 679 days without indictment. So that's June 11th, 2021. So 2 months shy of 2 years without indictment. I would inquire of the state if they've had contact with the complaining witness in this case. I have not been able to get through. The number on the citation is not the number for the complaining witness. So if they have updated contact information, I would love to speak with her. Today, like I did for Mr. McWhite, I have filed a demand for a constitutional speed trial on behalf of Mr. Reese, and they should be hitting Odyssey either this evening or tomorrow morning. But Mr. Reese has been in custody for far too long without indictment and without any movement on this case. I can go into Ayala factors, Your Honors. 34, lifelong resident of Georgia, high school graduate, has worked as a mover, and while in custody lost his younger sister, which has been very hard on him. But Your Honor, Fulton County Jail is not a safe place to be. And no one should be subjected to the conditions of 901 Rice Street for 2 years without a conviction, let alone an indictment. It's unconscionable. And so, Your Honor, I'm asking that the bond be significantly reduced. I'm asking for a $5,000 bond on behalf of Mr. Reese.
Right, Ms. Turner.
The state does not have any contact information for the victim. The bond is reasonable where it is right now based on the defendant's criminal history.
No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. You're gonna have an ankle monitor paid for by the county, and he ain't gonna have to keep it on for a year, Miss Bianco, if he gets out. With a 24-hour curfew, court, lawyer, medical, employment, as long as you supply the name of your employer, place of employment, schedule, the exact location you'll be working. Stay away from 855 Peachtree Street. No further contact with Sincere Jackson or Lavon, Lavon Jones. $15,000 good bond. Best of luck to you, sir.
And Mr. ADA Turner, I'm sorry. You don't have any contact information for the complaining witness? Has the state had contact with her?
We have not had contact. I just see that there's no contact information for the victim, so.
Okay.
I highlighted this one in red. There was 221 cases on here for Mr. Taylor, and this one when I sent it to Miss Willis.
Okay, thank you.
Pointing out those number of days. There has been a prelim though, right? Yep, wait. Yes. Last March.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, that concludes my business. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Have a good evening.
Thank you, you too.
All right, let's see. So we got what did you find out, Miss Rosenhoover?
I have Miss Woods emailing me right now. She said Mr. Williams was given to Rachel and got an email about it today. So she may not, I believe that, I don't even know which Rachel that could be, but Miss Woods is driving and we're trying to figure it out. We may have to reset those if the files are spread around, and just apologies from the public defender's office for not being more on top of it. We should have noticed those names and done something.
It's all right. They had a couple of people leave recently. How quick can we get it back on, Miss Robinson?
I can put it back on for Tuesday.
How about that, Miss Rosenhoover?
I think that'll work. I'll let Miss Woods know.
Okay, so you want me to put Travis Williams back on for Tuesday, correct?
Yes, please.
Okay.
What about who's representing Anthony Jones? Do we know who's representing that one too?
Same announcement, Judge. If we could just reset them till Tuesday, I think we'll have it figured out by then.
So that's position 12, Anthony Lamar Jones, 22CP 214938, yours is being reset till Tuesday. Travis Williams, 22CP 212554, yours is being reset till Tuesday. So we'll see y'all Tuesday. All right, let's see. So we got now Nicholas Meadows. All right, 22CP 215064, 112 days without indictment. There's a $51,000 good bond as of December 31st for possession of firearm by a convicted felon. Certain acts on bus or train station or rail station prohibited. Pre-trial.
Meadows, 14 prior arrests, 7 felonies from 09, obstruction, burglary, First offender is interference with government property, right in a penal institution, interference with government property, interference with government property again. And theft by receiving stolen property, obstruction, aggravated assault 2017, parole violation 1, probation violation 2. Nothing further.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Rosenhuber.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Meadows is 33 years old. He is a lifelong Georgia resident, and his entire family does reside here in Georgia. If released, he would live with his aunt and cousin at the address on file for him here in Atlanta. He is forklift certified and heavy equipment certified, and most recently was working at Higher Quest doing construction and handyman work. He'd been doing that since March of 2022. He also earned his GED in 2009. Given the fact that he has now been in custody for 113 days with no indictment, this would be an easy case to indict. I believe the allegation is that an officer saw him drinking alcohol at a MARTA station, and then he was found with a gun, allegedly. We'd ask that this be added to the list as well. But Judge, at this time, we would ask for you to cut the bond in half and to set it at no higher than $25,000. Thank you.
All right, what says the state?
The state does not believe this bond needs to be lowered at this time. It is reasonable.
No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. Stay away from all MARTA property, sir. Planes, trains, automobiles, bus stations, bus stops. You cannot sit down at a bus stop and tie your shoe. Absolutely no MARTA. So if you ride Clayton County trains or something like that, you get stuck. You can't ride it into Fulton County because that'd be a violation of your bond condition. Stay away from 1400 Lee Street. You gotta have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew. Court, lawyer, medical, employment. As long as you supply the proof of employment schedule, the exact location you're going to be working. So 20,000 count 1, 500 count 2. Best of luck to you, sir. You can leave the booth. All right, Ali Alatif. All right, position 22, 394 days without indictment. There's a $40,000 good bond as of January the 19th for aggravated assault. 22 CP 212282. Ali Alatif, ALATIF. Preach. Oh.
11 prior arrests, 3 felonies, 1 misdemeanor, felonies, criminal damage to property, burglary, 0406 firearm during an aggravated assault. Open case 23 SC 186360, armed robbery, aggravated assault. Firearm during firearm by, assigned to Judge Edwards. Nothing further.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Rosenhuber.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Alatif is 36 years old. He is a lifelong Georgia resident. His entire family resides here. He does have an 8-month-old baby boy who was born since he has been in custody, and he has never gotten to meet him. I am also told that this child was born with a serious heart defect that has already had 3 surgeries and will likely need more. Financially, his family is in a very tight position. We were able to confirm the address that's on file for him. That's on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. He resides there with his child and his child's mother. He is employed as a foreman at U-Haul. He started working there back in November of 2020. They're currently holding the position for him, but they can't hold it forever. And he has been in custody now for almost 400 days. Though I will, just to be candid with the court, on this particular case, it's just 220 days without indictment, which is still very significant. He graduated from Booker T. Washington High School and attended 2 years of college at the University of Miami, Ohio, and Greenville Tech, and he was pursuing a degree in biblical science. Judge, we are asking for this case, which is currently set at $40,000, to be reduced to $10,000. Thank you.
What says the state? Come on, shock me. Say something besides it's reasonable.
Due to the criminal history and the pending armed robbery case, we ask that the bond not be lowered at this time.
Y'all gotta all come in here with some more numbers. I'm not a fan of just, like putting it all on Alex Manning. Y'all like to see me on the news, don't they, Ms. Rosenhuber? No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. You have an income monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew. Court, lawyer, medical, attorney, business, and employer. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment schedule, the exact location you're going to be working. Stay away from 1107 Ralph David Abernathy Road. No further contact with your co-defendants, Dylan Collins, Collins, Cadmar Clark, Cadhmar, last name Clark, and Jermaine Carter. No further contact with Juanita Johnson. And no further contact with Flanagan, last name Don, D-O-M. $25,000 good bond. Best of luck to you, sir. You can leave the booth. All right.
Judge,
Anything else besides we got the lifesaver and Miss Bosky. Thank you, Miss Bosky. Lifesaver. Think I can stop the stream now, right?